Well, hello. Everybody, welcome back. If I look like I'm hot, sweaty, and just got off of a 35-mile bike ride, it's probably because I did. I just literally 5 minutes ago walked into the shop from a bike ride, and I still blame Steve. But the good news is I am losing some weight. I am getting in better shape, I hope. So there's that. There's that side effect of that. But it is fun. It is addictive. I think it's as bad as lasers. I'm just going to be honest with you. If it's not, it is close because I've been having fun. I'm about every other day, 25 or so miles. Today, I did, how many was it? 32.74 is what this app says. This is the app for the bike. So my Apple Watch says 32.6 is what Apple said. So we'll go with 32 miles. I think that's a safe bet. So how goes you there, Steve? I know you've been kitting yours up too, haven't you? Getting ready to do some videos?
Well, yeah, I was working on it
behind you back here.
I was working on it a little bit today for when I hopefully can get out. There's the standard bag that I added because they have a rack back there. It'll just strap to and such. But then I wanted to add some pannier bags for kind of saddle bags that are a little more sturdy than the ones that just kind of flip out. And so the problem is when you put that on there, it kind of prevents the top bag from being able to strap down properly and whatnot. So I did a little prototyping today and might get something worked out because my hope is in a few weeks anyway, when things calm down, I want to get out and try an overnight camping. There's a state park. It's about I think it's just under 30 miles away. And and I can get there almost 100% on trails. So I'm going to try to get a small kit together that I can, basically load up in there. Maybe I might have to wear a backpack for a few things as well. And then, I'm going to take an overnight trip with the bike. And if that goes well, there's a couple other trails in Minnesota. I would drive to like the trailhead, maybe ride the bike and then camp overnight, ride back kind of thing. But yeah, so there'll probably be a video out on that. Just a little bit of I had to make kind of a stacking plate so that the bag could bolt to the one, and then I've got standoffs. So the other one's just like 3/4 inch kind of.
So it ended up being a CNC project, didn't it?
Well, actually this one was I prototyped it with some underlayment plywood.
Oh, okay. Just cut it out on laser cut just to line everything up.
Yeah, just cut it out on the P3, the X-Tool P3 to try to see if everything would, in theory, work. Kind of check spacing and such, and it's looking good. I think if I like it, I'll probably get like some 1/4 inch HDPE, some black, plastic that'll
water resistant.
Yeah, water resistant. And then still fairly lightweight that'll work, and then I don't have to worry about, if I get stuck in the rain, is it gonna?
I mean, you could break down and throw some ASA in the printer, and I mean, even PET G. I think you'd be safe with PET G because it's not gonna get that hot.
So the plates I made were like 17 inches long, so I'd have to do it in multiple parts, and then I mean, I could, but we'll see.
It'd probably be easier, like you said, with a CNC.
yeah. So, I mean, if that's the tool you have, you can make it work. But when you have better tools for the better job, I mean, it's nice to use it for the specific. But no, I mean, you could definitely do this with I mean, you could cut it out of acrylic on a laser. It might not be as, it's going to be more,
easier to snap.
yeah, it'll be more likely to snap if it flexes too much. That's where I'm thinking HDPE has got.
Oh, I agree with you on the HDPE or either that PVC sheet would probably work too.
But the thing is, I have a sheet of HDPE.
Yeah,
I don't have to go buy anything.
Yeah.
So
cool.
yeah, it's kind of both a want to do, and then as I was looking at it, I'm like, hey, this might be kind of a fun just video project for laser, CNC, or both. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, I've been out here working as much as I can, but this week was faculty come back and last minute student welcome, come get your books, come check everything out. So it's been busy on campus. And then tomorrow semester starts, so it'll be even busier. So for the most part this week, I've just been trying to keep my head down, try not to take too much Advil and Excedrin, and try to sleep. But we get through this week. Unfortunately, I also have some other abnormal things happening at work between projects, and I've got a couple retirements coming up that I'm of key positions I'm trying to manage the turnover in. It's gonna be a little, the stress and the busyness is going to continue. So
yeah, and for those that weren't here last week, if you haven't heard the update, unfortunately, Steve will not be making it to Texas with us.
Yeah.
So if you're planning on going, I'll be there, but Steve unfortunately is not going to be able to be there in his entirety. There may or may not be a stand-in, but Steve himself is not going to be there.
And if you do go, and if there's any sort of feedback survey, hey, just get them to move it off this weekend. Tell them it's because I've looked at this event for the past few years and it keeps landing on this weekend. And so I thought I was going to be able to make it, but then, a couple of staff locked in their retirements, and then there's a few projects that have been, it's a moving target. And the college I work for is part of the state college system. And so we've got the system office that sometimes just
things get dictated.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you're like, well, that doesn't work out well for me. And unfortunately, I'm not close enough to retirement to say,
you ain't got your easy button yet.
I can't just tell them, you know what, I'm good, I'm done, and walk away. So
one day you'll get your easy button, sir. One day.
So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to make it, but I guess I'll be able to watch some of the recordings because I had my ticket.
I was supposed to say, you got a ticket, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I paid for the early bird to try to save some money on that, but Anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully, like I say, if they could do it another weekend next year, because I know a lot of other people have said that in the past too, is it's just between school startup and then kind of rolling into, this is like the season to get going on holiday stuff, fall craft fairs. It's a tough time for a lot of people to get away for that.
Yeah, and luckily for me, Brandy's going to handle my normal duties of, picking up the kid from band and stuff like that while I'm gone. So
she won't be up here and be a CIO for a week.
I don't think you can talk her into that, but she's gonna stand in for me on that. And luckily, there's for the most part, the kid's old enough now to where most of it's pretty low maintenance, other than she's got to be from point A to point B because we ain't there yet as far as her driving. There is a ball game Friday night. So I'm going to be missing the game, but it's a home game, so I don't have to pull the trailer. And I do have a friend of mine whose daughter is now on the band with mine, and so I do actually have help this year. So it's not just me getting that trailer everywhere it needs to go. I did just finish with with a little help from my buddy Tim. Y'all hear me talk about Tim at the trophy shop a lot. I did just finish a project that I had been working on, and I don't know what I did with the pictures. It was for the school, and if y'all remember here a while back, the kids were doing a little bit of a fundraiser, and instead of doing that, I got, because what I do, I had to buy new signs for the parking or make new signs for the parking. So that's the new parking signs. It's 36 by 24. And had my buddy Tim. I was going to try to do it on the UV printer, and I got to look at doing the math, and I'm like, that is going to be a stupid amount of UV ink.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked Tim. Luckily for me, Tim broke his laser, his Thunder, the other day, and it needed repair, and I needed this. So I'm like, you know what, Tim? But yeah, so I paid for I bought the signs on Amazon. They're pretty handy because you can change the 36 by 24 panels out for like different events or whatever. And then I had they have the Coroplast or whatever that goes in them. Well, Tim just printed me like a huge 36 by 24 sticker, basically, that went on there. And so that was pretty cool. But yeah, the little known fact, I did not know this, a Thunderbolt laser, if you were to say not set the focus and you start a job and the laser hits a big, huge block of wood, such as a ward or something, the module, the nozzle will dislocate itself from the gantry and just hang by the belts.
So this is all hypothetical, right?
I mean, not that I saw it that way.
Yeah.
You know, when he sent me a picture and was like, "Hey, he's like, "Hey, I need your help." And yeah, so, but little did I know the thing's spring loaded. Like Thunder actually thought it through, and they made it spring loaded so that if you do that, instead of breaking anything, it just basically dislocates it, and you just have to like put it back on there. So once we made sure nothing was broken, the only thing that got bent was the little arm that touches the limit switch was bent a little bit. So when we first got it put back together and powered it up, it tried to home. There was some grinding, and I had to figure out why the limit switch wasn't getting pressed. Once I seen that, it was simply just bend it back down flat, and it was good to go. We did some test runs with it, tested the alignment to make sure the mirrors and everything were good. Done a good cleaning on it while I was there, and yeah, I wound up not having to pay for the big 36 by 24 stickers. I just did like a 2-hour service call. So,
yeah.
and his employee got some training on how to properly clean the lenses and how to check the alignment of the lenses and that kind of stuff. So, you know, bartering system.
Teachable moment.
Yeah, but he's got his employee she's doing really good. She really likes learning. So she may be getting one of my, you know, the machines that I can't ship. May wind up going to her to, you know, for a hobby machine and to give her some initiative to learn the software, even on her off days.
Sure. Well,
but yeah, it's been an interesting week for me. Like I said, trying to clear my calendar, getting ready to go to the maker event. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be there. It looks like Saturday night's probably going to be the best night for any kind of hanging out. If we don't get to do it before then, I know there's a couple folks that said they're not going to be there until Saturday. There's nothing that I saw on the schedule. And I looked over the schedule again last night. It looks like Saturday's mostly clear. So, you know, what is it? Friday night, I think is the mixer or the whatever they're calling it. The gathering is Friday night. So, or is it Thursday?
I thought it was the first night.
It may be. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was the first night. Hang on, let me go back to their schedule. So Saturday looks like it was clear. So that's what I'm thinking is probably going to be. If there's folks that want to come and like go out and grab some supper or something like that, Saturday is probably going to be the best night for that. If you're wanting to do it outside of the event, yeah, the mixer it's 9 to 11 on Thursday, and then. So I guess Friday would work too.
Well, if
5:45.
If anyone has connections and wants to charter a private flight for me that can leave, you know, Friday afternoon from southern Minnesota, maybe I could make it.
You ain't got your own private plane up there?
Yeah, but it's a little small.
Okay. Your pilot's just literally like made of styrofoam. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I got like I don't know, 10 airplanes in here.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the update. But yeah, it looks like we could do Saturday, but I know there's a couple of folks that I'm supposed to be meeting there that are saying they're not going to be there till Saturday. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wouldn't. I got to be at work through Friday, so even if I hopped in the car straight from work, I wouldn't get there till basically the thing was done.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that comment? I meant to throw that up there. Perman says, Stephen Clack, I should be receiving my IKEA Master Tuesday from what the tracking says. And he's asking you, is the output on the exhaust okay? I'm guessing he means, is it effective?
So it does have a built-in fan on the back. I had it hooked up to the Atom Stack or / IKEA, whatever they call it, their D4 air purifier. Which other than the filters eventually plugging up, that worked okay. So I didn't try it with just the laser itself. I would definitely have an inline fan pulling the air out. Unless you have it just like right by a window or wherever your outlet's going to be. I don't know that it's going to push it very far. It does seem to do an okay job for the most part, kind of pulling it out from the enclosed part or the enclosure and such. But yeah, I don't know that it's going to push it too far. So I would have an inline fan behind it if you can, or an air purifier. I mean, the fume clear that I've been testing, that's the other thing I've been working on quite a bit this week, is I hooked that up to multiple lasers to try to give it a shot. And, something like that would do well. But you definitely want to maybe boost the CFM coming out of it.
Yeah. I don't have that one, so I can't comment on that. ET says, I need advice on how to clean engrave and cleaner cuts on my wood. I've tried to make more passes at higher speed and lower power, but I may not be getting the correct speed or power. Any help? That's going to depend on the machine. The key to clean cuts is, first of all, good focus, because bad focus is going to like scorch and burn a lot worse than good focus is going to. You're going to get a more efficient burn if your focus is set correctly. You're going to need, if you're cutting, you're going to need some good exhaust as well as good air assist. And more air assist is not always better. There's like a sweet spot for almost every machine. It's not like 100 PSI doesn't make it better. There's a sweet spot. You want to find that sweet spot. And then of course, like I said, the correct speed and power settings, and you have to do that through testing, and it's going to vary from machine to machine. Anything that I missed? Anything you want to add there?
No, I mean, depending on what machine he's got, chances are it could do with an air assist upgrade. Because a lot of them, they're just not moving enough. Like you said, you can go too much. So whether you get a better air pump, depending on the machine, or even just going straight to compressed air with some moisture traps and pressure valve, that usually is the biggest denominator. Unless, I mean, there's the other thing is if the laser's just so underpowered and you have to make multiple passes, that gets tough, because the more passes you make, the more chances it has to stain that, especially since if you're not blasting through it, that smoke is always going to go on top. Whereas if it can cut through in a single pass, then that smoke and vapors pass through and kind of go out the bottom and hopefully get pulled away. But really,
that's one of the advantages of having a powerful enough laser with the material that you're using to being able to do it in one pass. It's cleanliness. It's not, and of course speed too, but cleanliness is the biggest thing, because if you make it all the way through, now you're blowing that smoke. If you keep it moving, it's going all the way through into the honeycomb. Because one thing that allows it to stain worse is it's just kind of hovering over your material as it's being discharged. So whether it's your air assist or your exhaust, if it don't keep it moving, it's going to collect on top of the material. So it's a like I said, it's going to depend on your machine. It could be a simple thing like me and you found that one time with that one machine to where the orifice on the air assist nozzle is just too big. Maybe you need to choke that down, shrink that down somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Try to cover through the comments. If we got any more questions, comments, concerns. Uh-oh. Mark says, hello from a very frustrated AMS2 user. I screwed up and broke a connector from the brand new AMS2. All my own fault. I thought removing the PTFE tube was the same as the AMS1. It is not. Yeah, that sucks.
Although the AMS2 is easier to get at those things than the than the one. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Hopefully you get it fixed up.
And it's really bad when you like break it to where like it don't like if one of the bays is down, okay, maybe you can work around that. But
Yeah.
if it don't work at all, that does kind of throw a kink in things.
Brian's asking, when I'm camping in the woods, do I ever worry about being confused for Bigfoot or maybe Paul Bunyan? No, not really. Not really. There's a state forest up in central Minnesota that's known for a lot of Bigfoot. I wouldn't call them sightings, but like evidence
Reports.
of, yeah. So maybe I'll have to go hang up there and see. But no, there's I try to make sure, it's kind of like you want to let the bear know. You make noise so that the bear knows you're coming before you see the bear, and then it's kind of the same thing with people.
Yeah, you should wear orange so people can see you.
No, not really.
Brian says, "Old Man Tech brought to you by Flag. Maybe a channel 3 for him." I am done starting channels, Brian. That second one was a lot of work getting it to where it is, just to the point to where it is now. I have no desire to start a third one. None. It's like 2 is enough to keep up with. It's because there's some weeks to where it's like I got so much life and stuff in the way that I can't do what I need to do with just the 2 of them, let alone a third one.
Mm-hmm.
And as of February, it's going to be even harder to get one to that point if you haven't already done it. So if you're looking at trying to get a channel monetized, I would recommend that you make that a priority between now and February and try to go ahead and get that knocked out, because it is going to get a little tougher after February.
Jake's asking, how do you recharge the bike while camping? It depends on where you're going. So a lot of the state trails around here, they go through communities and various parks. A lot of them will have like the pavilions that might have outlets for whenever you're renting it out, you can plug in your slow cooker, or bring in some lights or some other things, so you can kind of take a break and charge a bit there. And depending on the place you camp at, like the state parks here, they have everything from backpack cart-in sites to primitive sites to full-on electric sites. So depending on how it goes, I might, when I ride out to do this first one, I may just reserve an electric site so that I can charge the bike up at the campsite. But that's a trick. And the other thing too is, push come to shove, I can pedal the bike without the motor. I've tried that out, and as long as there's no major hills,
that's great until you get to an incline,
yeah.
And then it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's heavier, but you can still pedal it, if you need to get somewhere. But yeah, it's something to consider. But the whole bike packing thing that is the bike camping thing is kind of interesting. And I've done some research on some people who have made some modified bikes with just tons of battery, and they go hundreds of miles a day and or people that just they use traditional bikes. So
yeah,
but that's kind of the challenge with this one is because it's a folding bike. It's honestly not the most ideal one to do this with, but I bought that one for a compromise so that it's easier for me to take when I'm out adventuring in the car, taking it places, and so I'm just it'll be kind of interesting to see how it does for me, and yeah.
Well, my electric, I've used it like when I go to town or something. Like I'll take it and fold it and put it in the back of the car and drive it with me. But when I leave from here, so that I'm not having to transport it, like if I'm just going to ride, I've been riding that Thunder, and as of today's ride, I have 266 miles on the Thunder now. So, but it's a much bigger, heavier bike. And like I said, today was 32 miles, and I got back. I was bouncing between 20 and 40% battery, and that's pedal assist 3, which is like 3 out of 5 on that one, and me pedaling the whole time. If you ride it like a moped, you're not gonna get 30 miles. You're gonna get like 10 or 15. So you got to pedal it if you want to get some miles out of it.
Yeah. Rob's asking if we can do commercial breaks, his wife's suggestion, because his son Troy's birthday and he needs to sing. Well, I'll tell you what, Clack would be more than happy to do a round of happy birthday.
I can't sing. Rob, we understand. That kid, hey, we do this show every Sunday. The kid's birthday, he's probably only going to have one of those a year. So we understand. I mean, some kids try to have 2 or 3 birthdays a year,
There, it's my half birthday, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 14 and a half this week,
Yeah. Well, but no, we try to keep those off during the actual live stream and turn them on for the replay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you watch the replay, you're probably gonna get to see them. But if you're here for the live, you don't. It's live, uninterrupted entertainment, mostly.
Seth's asking how will we communicate this get together? Probably assuming that's the next level.
I'll create an event on my Facebook page or post on the Facebook. I can also do a post on the YouTube page here. Assuming, like I said, if everybody's if you're wanting to meet up, if you're in the live and you want to shoot me an email, I'll try to keep those emails, and then I'll create like a mass email, and I'm not gonna like dox you with everybody. I'll just like blind carbon copy everybody, so that you guys can, if you want to do it that way. But Facebook's usually where I'll do it. That way you can like click the button, RSVP, and all that good stuff. Just to keep it simple. I don't want to go too far, like plan it just yet until I get there, to make sure that there's not something that's not on the website that's going to conflict with it. Because I'd hate to. I know Rich said last night in his live that he did. He said he's going to come over. I didn't think he was going to, but apparently he's going to be there. So he had said something about he might do a live Saturday night, which I don't think he's staying at the event. I think he said he's off property, but so that might be something that, might interfere with Saturday. So we might want to do it Friday. Let me at least get my feet on the ground over there and make sure there's nothing going on. But I'll post on Facebook and post on YouTube. I'll post it everywhere I can.
So the short of it is, make sure you're following Clack. Make sure you got notifications on. That's going to be the easiest way to keep up with it.
Yeah, because I don't even know if there's a restaurant like at the event, and it may be that everybody gets to come and hang out at the vendor area during the day and nobody wants to come that night. And if that's the case, then, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll be there. Like I said, Friday night and Saturday night, I don't have anything on the schedule right now. Wednesday night and Thursday night are kind of penciled in right now.
Norbert's asking where all my F2 users at. What are the most important things to get for a new F2 setup? 3D printer. Biggest thing I think you're gonna want with the F2 is they've got the cutout. It's easy to make jigs for that. So I mean, you could do that on you probably have a larger laser as well, but you can 3D print them. So like pen jigs and dog tag jigs. Um, I did one where I found it on, I think I found it on Maker World. A person had the ornament jig for the bulbs. Since the F2 can kind of do the surface mapping, that it does that all right. But yeah, A, material to test, and then B, jigs to set up. I mean, you can make your own, which it's not too hard, or they're files to download, or you can even just buy them straight up from Sam Craft. I've got a few of his that work pretty well. So
Yep. I use my laser cut ones that I do. And then I, of course, use the little button. I like the button. So if you didn't get the little accessory button with yours, it's pretty handy. Unless you have the like touch screen from the bigger machines. The little button that it literally looks like a keyboard button. That little thing's pretty handy because you don't have to like hit the side of the machine when you send a job to it. And keeps from, any kind of concern with rocking the machine or anything like that and moving the material if you're doing something that's sketchy. So, but I love my little button. I got the button and the pedal. I don't use the pedal that much. I keep it in the shop in case I do want to use it in here, but mostly I use that little pedal.
Yeah.
And I made a bracket that I screw mine to my table and all that for events. What else we got?
Kevin Rich says, getting ready to start ramping up a lot of cutting on my Reno 65. I'm going to just use the slats. What type of hold downs do y'all use? Well, I didn't make any for that one, but I made some of these for the Atom Stack slat bed. And then so this, you just have to make that wide enough to kind of snugly fit around the slat, and then this just basically pushes down. You could do something like that. There are, what was it? I think, was it X Tool made some kind of spring-loaded clamp things that go around the slats for one of their machines. I never really use those that much. Generally, if it's big enough to go on slats, I don't use material. I don't use a lot of hold downs. Use the honeycomb if it's smaller, and because usually like 1/8 inch stuff, I might need to hold it down with that, and then I'll use some pins that I cut out, but that just fit into it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options when it comes to blade beds. If you're having problems with the material moving for whatever reason, my go-to is a little small piece of painter's tape on the bottom side of the material. You can take and like on the edges of the material, just take you a piece of painter's tape and put it around like 2 of the slats and connect it to the back of the material to keep it from sliding. Or you can painter's tape it like on the front to, some type of, whatever you can get to in the front, depending on whether like the alien cell, if you've got that little flat ledge, you can painter's tape it to there. But other than that, magnets, if you can, clips like Steve said, but I keep that green painter's tape around, and I'm bad. And if you've watched enough of my videos, you've probably seen a video with me using green painter's tape for holding something down, because it just works. And you can cut it with a laser. If you mess up and put it in the wrong place, it'll just cut right through it. So it's not it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah.
Stephen Rossman's asking, what's a good free software to prepare a snapshot and engrave on slate?
If you're using Lightburn does a good job, in my opinion.
Yeah,
some folks might argue, but I think Lightburn does a really good job. I have used the window utility, like just the stock window photo editor, and just contrast it up a little bit. But Lightburn, they've recently redone some of the tools in Lightburn, and they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot in there. Otherwise, if you want to, you can run some free software like GIMP to do more photo editing without having to pay for anything. That's kind of like your closest free open source version to like Photoshop.
Inkscape's pretty handy.
Yeah, but that's more vector.
Yeah.
GIMP is more of the raster photo stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part,
I rarely need anything outside of Lightburn or the Windows.
Yeah, I do most of it in Lightburn. Xtool Studio does a pretty good job just kind of doing it on its own. Some of the others depends. I mean, usually most of them have like your contrast tools and your brightness, gamma, things like that you can adjust. You just kind of in Lightburn, you right click and you on the photo and hit adjust photo, and that's going to bring up a different set of tools where you can play with. So
yeah, I think the last Windows update or the last version of Windows, they actually have some like filters in there, so you can do like grayscale and stuff like that too, just like one click. So, but yeah, that's about all I use. I used to go through a bunch of trouble. Once you learn that the secret to it is everything that you want engraved needs to be a little bit of touch of gray in it. And then just high contrast. That's the key. And a good, clean image with not a lot of noise. Those are the key.
And on Slate, don't forget to invert it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to burn white.
Well, Mark says props to Bamboo. Got off live chat and they told him the part number needs putting in order. It's only a $13 part, but I'm spending $89, so I have to pay $7 shipping. More filaments on the way.
Hey, you're going to use the filament anyway. That's the way I look at it. When I order filament, I'll make sure I get enough to where I ain't got to pay for delivery.
Yep.
I'll be like, oh, I don't have that color. Let me add that to cart. So, I typically get 3 or 4 rolls of black and then whatever other colors I don't have, because I go through the black PETG a lot.
Forget Me Not Wood says, did Adam Stack discontinue the A70 Max in the 4x8 size? I was looking at a while ago and wanted it in the worst way. Now I'm quoting a huge job, and this would be ideal for it.
Don't they had a 4x8?
Yeah, I think the only one that was that big
was the Acemer.
Well, there's the Acemer, and then wasn't like there a Tyvek something?
The Tyvek Spider or whatever.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing the Adam Stack one in
the Adam Stack was it 850 by 850, the Glacier, and the A70 Max was a 450 by 450, 850 by 850 also, because that's what they tried to send me to replace my X40 Max, and I'm like, I don't want it that deep. I just want it wide. I don't want it deep. So.
Maui WH is asking, I've got a useful 3D print for your electric e-bikes. How to send? Just check the email in a contact.
Or both of our emails are easy to locate.
There's mine.
Yeah.
And there's Clack's.
Yeah.
So yeah, always love seeing what people have out there. One of the ones I was looking at, the headlight on these has a really bad, like it's got a small pivot point that it likes to flop down and or break off. And so I've seen a few people make one that kind of clamps around the light itself. And I was thinking about trying to make one of those myself to change how that bolts on there. So, and then 3D print it out. But love to see what else is out there.
I did an AirTag holder for mine.
Yeah, I've got a
covert one, so that
I've got a similar thing, and I got to work that into it.
Just in case,
Yep. Doesn't guarantee it, but at least gives you something.
Yeah. Trying to go down through here and see what we got on the comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything, but
Glenn says, Yuffie versus Omni, who wins? Is the Omni superior? Does Omni run? I'm going to be honest with you. I can't say at this point. I don't know. I will tell you the one thing that really does that I do like is the way that it's integrated into the software with the P2 and with the F2 Ultra. Anything from the S1 forward, you can do the print and cut. And it's not like print and then it's not like the print and cut with light. Everybody's like, oh, I use print and cut with Lightburn. No, this is a whole nother animal. Like this is print and cut, but instead of having to go in there when you get ready to cut and having to move the laser and point it here and and try to line up everything manually, you just lay it in the work area and the laser takes a picture of it and then it moves the design to where it needs to be and it cuts it. So like it's automatic. It's insane. I was like, this isn't going to work. So I got a piece of old True Flat White, printed a fluffy cat on it, and then I was actually building the design in the house, and so my P2's out here, and so I had to come out here to where I could be physically beside the machine, and I remoted into that computer in the house and sent the cut job, and it cut it perfectly. And all I had to do was put the material in there and hit, next, and it lined it up, and then I hit cut, and it cut it. I didn't have to move the material around. I didn't have to mess with it. To me, that kind of integration is what's really awesome to me. I know you can do similar with the other machines by, adding indexing points, and you can manually index it. I mean, you can do it with the other machines, but I don't know that you could get that fluid of a conversion from 3D or UV printing to cutting. It's slick. Hopefully, if I have time before I go out of town, I've got a job that I've got to make 50 signs. They're going to be clear acrylic, UV printed, and they're going to be mounted using standoffs like these. So I've got to design the sign to a certain size, and then I got to put holes in the acrylic to fit these standoffs, and I got to UV print them, and like each one's for like a different classroom. And so I'm going to do that job with the Omni and the P2 because it's clear acrylic. I've got a piece of acrylic in there. The artwork's supposed to be getting emailed to me Monday. Once I get the artwork, get the file brought into Xtool software, I'm going to have, there's some text that I'm going to have to be changing. So I got to match the font and all that. And then I'm going to build the file and start working on them. But this week, I'm just going to do a prototype for review. Basically, I'm going to design the file. They sent me one of the standoffs that they're going to be using to design the file. I'm going to design the file, and I'm going to print like just the very first one. I'm going to go ahead and print it, send it back to them, and let them be looking at it, making sure that it mounts the way they want it to and all that. And then when I get back from Texas, if they approve it, then I got to do 49 more of them. So I'm going to go ahead and do the one that I'm doing, like my proof is going to be one of the ones that they want done. That way, when I do it, it's done. But I got to come up with a price, but I'm going to look and see how much ink it takes and all that. The acrylic and the standoffs are being provided because I'm subcontracting this from my buddy Tim because he don't have a UV printer. So he's providing the materials. I'm just doing the printing and cutting. So that's why I like working with businesses in the neighborhood. Because like I said, when he got this job, he was like, I could do it with stickers, but some of the text is like a tiny, tiny font. And he said, weeding it is a manpower nightmare. He's like, I would rather just, if you can print it, you can have the job and I'll just sub it. So that's what I'm doing. Because I was like, I got the perfect setup for that because it's a print and a cut. So, I mean, I got that. It's like that job was created especially for that machine. So we'll see. Brad, we'll see you Saturday. I will have something for you there, sir. So please show up.
Seth Rosenberg's asking, can you explain how longer lenses change the performance? Buying a new CO2, which comes with the stock, and a 2, 3, and 4-inch lens, what would you use this for? So what happens is when you use a short lens versus a long lens, they all have a focus point that's kind of like shaped like an hourglass. So it kind of comes in and then it goes back out. The shorter focal distance, it comes in and goes back out a lot faster, but it gets down to a finer spot size. So that is great for engraving, but on thicker stock, your beam is going to go out of focus sooner, and therefore that power is spread out. It's not going to cut as well. So when you're cutting, you want to go with a longer lens. That means that it kind of stays in focus longer and deeper, but the spot size is wider. So you just offset with your kerf adjustments. It doesn't matter because you're cutting, but it'll stay in focus and have more of that power focused on your actual cut point, deeper into the material. So it's always a balance between what you need. Sometimes you still need a fine kerf size for some intricate detailed cuts. So you still might want to go with a shorter lens, or if you're trying to get as fine of a detail in your engraving, again, you're going to back that up to as small of a spot size you can get with your focal lens, but then it's going to go in and out of focus faster. So if you're working with something curved, or needing to or like on glass, it's nice having a little bit of a buffer there. So you might go with a slightly longer lens, but generally speaking, a lot of them, the stock one's going to be like 2 or 2.5 inches, and it's kind of a balance. But you might step up to the 4 if you've got, some thicker material you want to try to get through.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Steve said, let's say you're trying to engrave something like this that's down inside a pocket or something, you could also use a longer focal lens to lengthen the beam to get down in there a little deeper if you needed to get you a little more clearance. That's something that you can't do with like some of the other machines that we have in our shops. You can't necessarily do that. But yeah, or if you wanted a bigger kerf for doing glass, because a lot of times too, glass is nice to use a little bit bigger spot size. So you can either defocus or just use a different lens. But yeah, I don't have any currently that I can swap lenses on. The Thunder that I work on quite regularly has the ability to run 1.5 inches, and I think it's a 2.5 inch lens that he's got for it. But all they do is engraving, so they just run the 1.5 inches. So
John Woodworker's asking, is that Polar 2 in the background worth buying? I can't decide between that or the X-Tool P2S. I think you're going to have, as far as cutting performance, it's going to be very similar between the two. This one will have a little finer kerf to it, a little finer spot size. Where you're really going to see a difference is the speed of the engraving. This one is very fast. The RF tubes can fire faster, and they can fire at lower power, so you can actually get better detail, and it doesn't have to take as much ramp up time to fire the laser. X-Tool also, they like to put training wheels on their gear, and they'll limit your speed, and their acceleration, I think, is a little bit conservative, so that it doesn't get off and get kind of wiggly. So your sacrifice there is, over time your engravings are going to take longer than it will on a traditional Ruida based laser. So what I recommend to people is, if you're doing a lot of like one-off item customizations, X-Tool equipment is really good. If you're trying to do production work, you're doing a lot of one thing over and over again, some of these other machines are probably going to save you a lot of time in the setup and the switching between jobs, or even during the job itself. So
yeah. Now I think they offer that Polar 2 in a standard tube, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, it would be, the standard would probably be more comparable to the P3, because that thing, I saw it when you were up there at your place. The RF Polar 2 is fast. Like, it's Like I think it's faster than the frame rate of the cameras we use because it makes it look like a helicopter blade. Like it looks like it's moving like that.
So yeah, it's both are decent lasers, but like if you're wanting a lot of doing a lot of engraving or doing a lot of production work, getting out of a GRBL controller, getting into a Ruida controller, and something a little bit faster is gonna pay off in the long run.
I'm trying to go through some of these.
Rob says the singing went well, but could have used your golden singing voice as well.
Woohoo! Well, I don't sing all that good. I think I do, but other people don't think I do. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently, there's a bunch of restaurants near the event, so maybe we can. Like I said, if there's one in the place, that would be awesome. That way, nobody would have to go anywhere. You could come in and see the event, and then after it's over or whatever, we could just converge there. That would be awesome. That's what I want to try to get done, but we'll have to see the lay of the land. I can look at it on the internet, but nothing solid until I see it.
Yep.
Trying to see here what else we got. We got anybody else asking any more questions? There's a lot of folks talking amongst themselves. So,
well, Eileen, thanks for the 1,000 jewels.
Yeah,
always appreciate the donations and tips, but never want to people feel like they have to. So,
yeah. Oh, I think we clicked the same one. Glenn says, "Thank you, Mr. Clack. Your very first tester that used the P2 with Studio and the Omni, or at least the first person I'd heard did it." Yeah, I think I may be. I'm not going to say I am the world's first, but I'm the first one I know of. But I think part of that is because I'm a black sheep and I've got the OG P2 over here. I don't have the P2S. I don't have the P3. I got the OG P2. And like I said, and guys, I'm not knocking anybody. Everybody's channel, everybody makes videos to fit the need or whatever it is that they do. You know what I mean? I understand that there are people who support their families by making videos and doing affiliate sales and stuff like that.
Perimeter alert, driveway.
And that's fine. But most of the videos I've watched have been of 100 reasons why you should buy this. And I don't like that kind of video, that style of video. And I try not to be that kind of video. Yes, I do use the money that I make out here. And yes, I do get paid sometimes. I'm not like rolling it in. I don't have my own private plane. If I did, I'd send it to go get Steve and bring him to Texas. But yeah, I'm trying to do some down to earth videos that are relevant from the perspective of somebody who, because I don't believe that this particular UV printer is going to be for those people that are wanting to do 10,000 golf balls a day. I don't think this is going to be the printer for you. But if you're somebody like me that wants to do a little side hustle, make some money, use it to do projects with and jobs with, and you have, throughput is not necessarily your game. You want simplicity. You want it to play well with the P2, or you want it to play well with the F2 UV or the F2 or the S1. I think that's where this machine is going to have a bit of an advantage for those people who are already established as a maker but have lasers. And so that's kind of where I'm trying to stay with my content. And that's why I've been trying to watch a bunch of the other videos. And there's some videos that I find helpful, but a lot of them are just too emphasizing on why you should buy it and how you're going to make millions of dollars with it and all that. And that's not my game. That's not what I'm doing. And I hope y'all like the video. And if you haven't watched it, feel free to go watch it and give it a good thumbs up and let YouTube and Xtool know that you like it, because me and Xtool were in negotiations since December wasn't it around December when they told us about the UV printer was coming to CES or whatever?
Yeah, it was just before
Yeah.
CES. So
because they've wanted me to sign up for their partner program, which is basically they have a group of people that they send their stuff to, and that group of people makes videos for them, and they tell you how many videos you're supposed to make, and they want you to do a video on each new product that they roll out, and they want you to do them on their Atom software and stuff like that. And they wanted me to join that, and I didn't feel that was the direction I wanted to go. I didn't want to obligate to that. I didn't want to commit to that. And so I kind of like backed away from them for a little while. And so I'm just now getting to where they decided to work with me was back when the F2 and the F2 UV come out. And I still have not signed up for their partner program or whatever. But I have worked with Xtool for many years now. I think 4 years. And I've always had a good working relationship with them. They've never told me what to say in my videos. Sometimes they like to, give you like, hey, could you show this and how it's useful? And if it's useful, I'll show it. If it ain't useful, they'll wish they hadn't told me to show it. But because they've done that with that, what is that grocery cart conveyor thing?
yeah,
I told them, I was like, don't send that to me because y'all won't like the video. And they sent it and they didn't like the video. But yeah. So I try to keep my content realistic. I know me and Steve both are that way because Steve's got the P3 and he's done lots of stuff with them as well. So I hope y'all like the content. Like I said, there will be more. This coming up week is going to be the Next Level Maker Conference. And so I'm clearing my schedule to be out of town. But as soon as I get back, like I said, I got that job. Hopefully I'll get that job and I can start working on that. I've got all of my review stuff done, except for I'm still testing and playing around with the fume clear. So far, so good with that. And I may within the next few weeks have the UV and or the MOPA module for the T1. I don't know yet. My contact usually emails me back Sunday night late after I go to bed on the weekends and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm glad y'all liked it. I hope to do more with it. Like I said, I will be using the P2. Maybe this next job that I've got is definitely going to be a P2 video because it's cutting acrylic. But I also hope to work it in to where I'm using the UV with it. And I did get some clarification. If you watch my video from Xtool, the AP2 is not compatible with the Omni 1 as far as the automatic. You can use it manually, but it won't sync up automatically. They are creating a system specifically for the Omni 1 that will do automatic exhausting. But currently, the AP2 is not compatible, and there's no plan to make it automatically compatible. You can use it, but you have to power it on, power it off. But they said that you don't need it with their little filter that's built in. But for some of us that are a little like overly paranoid, I'm going to use it. Just because I feel like more is better in that situation. And Steve, I think Steve agrees with me. So,
yeah. I mean, by the time you can smell the VOCs, they're already probably too much for you. So, I try to run mine. I'm working on getting it actually into my basement shop work area because then I can vent it outside because it gets a bit industrial and chemically. And that can't be good for you or anyone around. So,
yeah.
But speaking of P2s, if anybody wants to make a trek to South Central Minnesota, I'll make you a really good deal on one.
Oh, the P2 is on the auction block, guys. Where's Brian at? Where's Brian?
I need to make room for. I need to make room in here for like this. I'd like it to be more permanent. So.
I was going to say, how many CO2 lasers do you currently have in your shop? Like right now?
5.
See, I've got the P2, and temporarily I have the Reno 45 over there. The rest of mine have found new homes. Now, I may or may not have another CO2 coming yet. I don't know. I don't count my chickens until they hatch, but there's a rumor I may have another one coming. We'll see. But I've been trying to stay out of the review stuff is a little bit more because I like reviewing machines. Don't get me wrong, but there's only so many times I can review a machine that's like the same as the machine I just reviewed. It gets on me. It wears on me. Like the T1, I've enjoyed reviewing it. I've enjoyed looking at it because it's new. They're doing things differently, and it keeps that fire alive, you know. But when I get something out of the box and I'm like, this looks just like this other machine that I just looked at, it doesn't do a lot for me these days. There we go. There's one. Jim Milton says, Insomniac from Scotland here. Any thoughts on the Lumos Ultra? The Lumos wasn't terrible. I haven't seen anybody say that the Ultra was terrible. I did not review it because there were some things with We Create that I decided to sit that one out, and I had a lot going on. But what do you think, Steve? I mean, I know you don't have it either, but you haven't seen anything terrible about it, have you?
I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it that much. I got so tired of my debacle with them on the Vision series that
you blacklisted them.
No, the original little Lumos for a competitor, the original F1 was pretty decent. It worked pretty well. But yeah, I had such a headache dealing with the Vision series and whatnot that yeah, no, so I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at it, because that's the one that can switch between what UV and MOPA.
I think the Lumos Ultra had the like 3. I think it could be a blue, fiber, or a UV.
Okay.
But it had that weird like umbilical plug that went in the back of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was it.
I think in a Galvo laser, having played with like the F1 and F2 where you can switch between the two, it is nice having, you know, a machine like that where you can change the source as long as it's not a pain. So I think it's definitely something to look at if you're looking to get multiple wavelengths and sources. It's something to consider, because there's nothing worse than having one and then wishing you have the other. Now you got 2 machines. You got to deal with the, you know, the setup.
Yeah, it is the bigger one. It'll go. You can get all the way up to 100-watt Duo Deluxe if you want to drop $8,700 on it. Yeah. So for $8,700, you could get it with a 100-watt source. But yeah, but that is it. And like I said, I've saw some folks that's got it. I know several folks that are kind of in our circle on YouTube did a review on it, and all of them seemed okay with it. I didn't see any terrible reviews about it, so that's good. But yeah, but it comes in a few flavors. It's got a 6-watt UV, 60-watt Duo, 100-watt Duo, 100-watt Duo. I'm thinking it's a blue and UV, or is it just a UV and a MOPA? They're marketing. Okay, so apparently it's a UV and a MOPA. Is there no blue? Huh.
I mean, if you've got the UV, do you really
can't run? If it's you can't run the UV and the MOPA through the same lens, so there's a lens swap. Yeah, it's just, I guess it. I always for some reason I thought it had a blue laser built in it too. Huh. But their marketing material is. Let me make sure I ain't. Lumos Ultra leading edge UV plus MOPA production platform. So yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just a UV and MOPA. So I thought it had a blue. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I'm not gonna lie. And Creality's still got they got a code for the live if you were to be interested. But when I first got the T1, or when we first saw it at CES, I was a little bit like, how's this whole swapping the module thing going to work? But they've made it pretty seamless until you go to like a UV where you got to change the lens out. Then there's one more step. But so far, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm trying to get Steve hooked up with the MOPA version of the T1. So there's that. Because Steve needs a MOPA. Steve, how many MOPAs do you got in your shop?
0.
Which is weird to me because I got them sitting around. Like I got a few. It's like Steve gets the big CO2s from everybody, and I get the MOPAs. I don't know why.
I mean, to be honest, I don't mind that as much, considering the stuff I do is more, cutting sheet goods and things like that.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have
but
something other than a 20-watt fiber, because if you want to mark metal, yeah, you could do that with a 20-30 watt. If you want to do deep engravings and the cool stuff that you'd get a fiber to do, you need a heck of a lot more power to not be sitting there all day going, hey, I think I just went down 0.1 millimeter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is a good time to tell you this or not, but I've got some copper sheet and some brass sheet ordered that's coming in, and I'm going to make like some necklace charms on mine. Like I'm going to cut them out and do like, I'm going to basically set it up as a STL and punch them out of a sheet of 3 millimeter copper and a 3 millimeter brass. I'm going to just set it up like a STL, like a relief, and try to purge all the way through it and make it into a charm for a necklace and stuff. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to try to do like a crucifix or something similar. Maybe not with as a crucifix, but maybe like just a cross with maybe some decorative stuff around it or something. Sure. And then if it works, then I may try to make it a little more complex with some like 3D imagery or something on it. But we'll see. But that's going to be a project for, this winter when it gets cool and I'm not cutting grass all the time or weed eating.
SGN Wood Designs is asking, going from a long array 5 10-watt to longer B1 30-watt, new learning curve. Is it mostly speed, power, something else? For the most part, yeah, you're going to want to take your material you've been working with and just run some new, test grids on them to kind of see where you're at. Depending on what you've been cutting, you may find that you can definitely get through it just in a single pass.
Yeah.
With that versus maybe having to do multiple passes. So, but yeah, your diode lasers like that, jumping up, and it's not going to be linear. So don't just say, oh, I'll go 3 times as fast. It's not going to be quite that, but definitely will mostly just be a speed change for you.
Cool.
Maybe a slight increase in the beam width if you've been doing some detailed engravings, but 10 to a 30 watt, you're probably not going to notice it too much.
Yeah, I don't think the kerf on the B1, because I ran the B1 for a while, and the kerf's not going to be that much more. But now I will tell you another thing that you don't think about is it's going to generate a lot more smoke than it was. Like as far as like in 5 minutes, the volume of smoke that you're going to generate in 5 minutes is going to be significantly more now.
Sure.
So be prepared for to upgrade your exhaust setup.
Mike's asking Steve Clark any info on the Morpho desktop UV printers, if they are any good or not. I mean, I've only really seen the marketing material on it.
Yeah.
Hard to say. They have kind of I think they've got like the fillable tanks instead of the cartridges. So I mean, that may or may not be appealing to you.
And I think that's the one that had the was it the LiDAR scanner or something built into it?
Yeah, and I think it could
do. They claim that you could like scan things and then recreate them.
Yeah,
I didn't get to try that, but I mean that sounded cool when they sent me the email about it. That's what I told them. I was like, that part sounds cool, but no, I don't have it, so I can't say for sure. I have the Eufy and I have the Omni 01 now, but I'm just getting my feet wet with the Omni 01.
Maui said, sent the file. I did get that, so I'll make sure Clack can take a look at it as well. So thanks for sending that over.
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you get it?
Or no, wait a minute. No, this is somebody else. Never mind. I just saw an email pop in and recognized the name, but it was a different thing. All right, there's your one question for Steve. Having worked on both the X-Tool P2S and the P3, do you have a preference looking at these options?
Well, to clarify, I've got the P2, which the major difference there, a lot of it has to do with like the air assist and the air extraction, which were needed improvements. I mean, if you need the wider working area, the P3 is nice. The extra power is okay. I wouldn't say it's like leaps and bounds above what you're going to do. I mean, it's kind of in that weird area, the 80 watts. Yes, it's more than 50 watts,
but it ain't 100.
But yeah, it'll do a little bit more. They really added in there what they call their automatic creation system into it, which can be nice. And this is one of the things that when people ask about X-Tool, especially their newer ones versus other machines, again, I kind of go back to if you're customizing, one-off items or doing a lot of like one-off items, they do it really well. They hold your hand through it. They help you kind of get it right. But there are a lot of times where that system gets in the way of just quick repeating cuts. Drop a new sheet in and hit go. You can set it up to do that as well. But it's just not as slick as some of the other machines. And even the P2S, I don't think was quite as, they didn't quite have the training wheels that the P3 has.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it is a nice laser. I like the depth and the size of it, but you do need to have some decent space. If you're ordering it, just buy the cart they make for it. You're going to need something built for it. And that works very well. It rolls around very well. I'm able to move it very well, and it's just kind of purpose built for it. So maybe save yourself the headache of having to build something yourself. But it definitely takes up more space, more size. So I think the biggest thing is if you need the working area, yeah. Otherwise, the P2S or something similar to that is going to be just fine.
Yep. Jerry's in the house. Apparently, he's jumping channels. What's up, Jerry? And if you didn't see it in the comments there, Rob says he's got a Maker 2416 that he's wanting to get rid of as well. Sounds like we're having like a swap meet tonight. Steve's trying to sell lasers. Now you got Rob trying to sell lasers.
Yeah, a little auctioneer out here.
Yeah. Like too bad we're like all over the world.
Yeah.
60 watt. He said his laser he's selling is a 60 watt. Radu, nope, haven't heard anything. Don't know. I'm pretty sure that is whatever that situation was. It doesn't appear that it was temporary. So we were just talking about that today. Me and Brandy were talking about it today. I miss a little crazy son of a gun, but that was the nature of the type dog he was, and the fact that you couldn't fence him. You wouldn't think it'd be a problem here. I mean, like Gravy, his buddy from down the road, he come to visit the other day because Rogue's hitting her fall, attractive season. And so Biscuit or Gravy came to visit us. He's still running around here. So I don't know what happened to the little dude. Maybe whoever he belonged to found him. I don't know. We'll see.
JR, Trade Skillers Anonymous asking Clack, why are the front tires towed in like crazy on that robotic lawnmower?
Well, JR, that's because some engineer over there in Shenzhen or wherever they're located at thought it was a good idea. It mostly works. Because I guess what their thought was is when it's turning, it's not going to matter because those wheels are well, they got omnidirectional wheels. They have the little rollers on them. That matter of fact, let me go get this other extra set over here. Woo, I got stiff.
Turned it into a show and tell. He's gonna go pull everything out now.
These are the original wheels. They actually sent me a second set. I don't know if maybe like when they first come out with the lawnmower, this is the wheels they come up with, and then they're like, those ain't the best, and so they sent another set. But these are the original wheels. I ran them for a little while, and they didn't turn as easy as the others. But you can see here, these pieces actually turn. So whether it rolls this way or goes to the side, these turn. Now, these were a little harder to spin than the ones that are on there. The ones that are on there have better bearings, and they roll easier. So, like, when it's doing its zero turn stuff, basically these are kind of like casters. And so this just lets it roll when it moves to the side. And they work okay as long as there's grass or packed dirt. But, y'all know I live on a sandbar. And so it's buried itself a couple times because it'll try to turn, and this thing right here will just dig down in the sand, and then the back wheel starts trying to pull, and if it's in any kind of loose sand, it's stuck. But once you realize its weaknesses and keep it out of the sand, it really does a good job on the grass. Like, it's outperforming my goat as far as cutting the bahia. Like, it doesn't care. It'll run over the bahia. But yeah, it's weird looking, but it works. I mean, I can't knock them on that. I wish somebody would make one that looked like the Batmobile. Like, I want one that's got two big tires in the back and then just like a ball, like a big ball in the front. Like, to where it just, like, you know what I'm talking about? Just like a ball. So it would just roll across anything. I think that would be a good design for a front wheel on these things, because the front wheel doesn't do anything. It doesn't pull. They don't pull on the front of those unless you get like the Motion all-wheel drive. The front wheel is just basically like the ones on a zero turn. It's just casters. So, but yeah, but it's doing a good job though. I mean, I can't knock it.
Just so you know, I had to turn my air conditioner off. I'm getting a little chilly.
I don't want to hear it. It's 78.8 in here. My feet are sweating.
It's 68 and 45% humidity. I'm chilly.
Well, now my mini split keeps the humidity down. It's only 37% in here. The humidity in this shop stays lower than the humidity in my house. But it's because this mini split never cuts off. I got a $260 power bill last month also. For the shop. That ain't the house. That's the shop.
Barry's saying, "Wow, what's this new X-Tool laser about? I can't keep up." Well, we're going to find out in about 5 days.
Yeah, I think, when are they supposed to? Yeah.
Is it Thursday night they do the X-Tool thing?
Yeah.
I think the first night of the Next Level Maker Conference, they are doing their unveiling of their, what do they call it, the X1?
Yeah, I wish they'd went with something else. There's so many X1s out there. They should really like start a committee of people on naming these machines, because the guy that's in charge of that is dropping the ball like bad.
So I guess well, some of you will get to see it.
I'll get to see it. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes.
Stephen Tucker is asking, I would like to get into using rough cut wood because of price. What moisture level should look at for interior project? Will exterior projects have more room for moisture? Well,
it's around 8% is the wood. Like, generally speaking, 8 to 12 is what most people recommend.
Well,
but that depends on where you are in the world too.
I was gonna say it generally you want to get it down 8 to 12%, but you really ideally you'd let it acclimate in the area it's going to live.
Yeah, in a perfect world.
So it kind of depends on if you're in a more humid area, you don't want it to be as dry when you work with it, because when you move it into a humid area, it is still going to kind of absorb that moisture and it's going to expand, or vice versa. If you work with it too wet and it dries out after that, it's going to shrink and crack and wood movement and split. So but general rule of thumb, 8 to 12% is what you're shooting for. So as far as outdoor exterior projects, yeah, you might want to plan a little bit more about like wood movement for exterior projects, and you're definitely going to want to look at your finishing method, because depending on the environment you're at, you could have a lot of moisture swings and you're going to have a lot of wood movement swings. And then if it's sunny and going to beat on your finish, you're going to have that issue as well. But that's one style. The RF styles are even better.
This one's this one's got probes, but this one does it either way. Like you can use the probes, or you can close the lid and do it. These are my first two that I got. These were okay, but since I've got the FLIR one, this is the way. Like this thing is awesome. It was a little more expensive, but this one is awesome. This is like Bluetooth to your phone, the whole 9 yards. It even has a flashlight built in it, but it's probably dead as a hammer. I haven't used it in a little bit. But you got to have one of these if you're gonna do it. And I will tell you too, if you really want to get accurate, you need to get one of the ones that has the long pin that you drive it in like a nail. Those are really accurate, but those are really expensive as well. This one I think was $350. These other ones were like 50 and 100. But like Steve said, water, whether it's entering the wood or exiting the wood, is going to affect the shape of it. Unless you get the perfect piece of wood, which is rare. If you get the perfect quarter sawn piece of wood, it typically doesn't move as much, but quarter sawn wood is not the stuff that you're going to pick up at your local Home Depot.
Rob Wilson's asking how much on the P2. Well, I don't know. If someone is seriously interested, reach out to me via email. I do have the laser and the riser, but I'd want to. If someone is serious about it, I'll drag it out and I'll get it tuned up and make sure everything is good on it. But I am motivated to move it out of the shop, but I'm also motivated to maybe buy my wife an e-bike as well. So I'm not saying I'm gonna.
It's not going to be free.
It's not necessarily going to be the full cost of the e-bike, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can recoup some of the value of it. But yeah, reach out via email if someone's seriously interested.
But it ain't going to be your traditional market book, $50 over retail price either.
No, I'm like I said,
because I see a bunch of them on Marketplace and they're like slightly used X-Tool P2, and it's like $50 over retail, and I'm like, seriously? I mean, why?
But yeah, no, I do need to make some. I'm trying to make room for things being more permanently, and I haven't used that one in a while. I've got the P3, so happy to move it on to someone who can use it.
What he's trying to say is he's become a bit of a hoarder.
Trying not to be.
Oh, Ray Watt says, Clack, I believe you said you took the filters out of your alien cell, or did I misunderstand? If you're talking about those little styrofoam, or not styrofoam, hang on, let me grab them. If you're talking about these little thingies, yes, I did. Because they kept stopping up like a lot. And I decided I was going to take my chances without them. And so far, so good. I haven't had any problems with it. I'm not saying this is a good idea. I'm not saying that it's recommended by Alien Cell, but I did take these things out because where mine sits, it's kind of a pain to get to them, to clean them on a regular basis. And they kept stopping up like really fast. And all I've been cutting with it mostly, I cut cardboard about once or twice a week. I cut up cardboard with it for some of my holding for things that I ship. And cardboard, for some reason, was stopping these things up just with the quickness. So I took them out. Now I was going to put them back after I cleaned them because I washed them, but they've been out for a while. There we go. There's your one. Brad's Custom Board says, what have y'all heard about the new Alien Cell X1 Lite? Heard it's coming 8/27. I'm going to refer that question to Steve.
I mean, I don't know what I can say about it.
Is light?
They are coming out with a light version of the X1. And yeah, it's coming out. They're announcing it this week. It is supposed to be very comparable to the regular one, but I think they've taken out some of the nice to have to try to make like a budget line option.
Yeah.
So more we'll know more this week.
There you go. There you have it, guys. It's going to be a light machine.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they make anything light. Their stuff is pretty stout. You know, it like if any of you've gotten an X1, you know, X-Tool does this with some of their machines too. They have a Velcro strap so you can lift it out. And then I just got the air purifier thing from them too. Kind of same deal. I was like, this thing, it's got some density to it.
Rob Fight says, I have the X-Tool UV and the power cord plugging in the back of the machine is really loose and easily knocked out. Is anyone else having this issue? No, but I will tell you that when they designed that machine, if you don't support the brick, like by using some means, like what I do a lot of times, especially if I'm near a wall, is I'll put like a little hook in my wall and then like use a zip tie to hold the brick so it's not like pulling on the plug where it goes into the machine. But I will tell you that that particular machine, if you set it on something the size of that toolbox over there, the distance from the plug in the machine and the floor is not enough to allow that heavy brick to sit on the floor. It makes it hang from the plug, and I do not recommend letting it hang like that. I would definitely support it somehow. You can get some of the little magnetic trays that stick to the back of your toolbox. You can 3D print something. You can literally zip tie it, duct tape it, whatever. I wouldn't overly insulate those things. If you're going to duct tape it, tape the cords themselves and not the power brick, because those power bricks do have to have a certain level of airflow to stay cool. But you can, like, and I have taken duct tape and put on both sides of the thing to try to hold it to the back of the table so that it's not pulling on the machine. Now, if you've had it hanging from that for any length of time, that may be contributing to the reason that it's loose. Because, like I said, what I did with mine is I've got mine like secured, like it hangs above the ground, but the weight is not on the plug. So that would be my recommendation. But now mine's not loose.
I mean, you can always just put a dab of hot glue on it. And then that usually will pop off. I mean, it holds it enough, and then you can pop it off when you need to. So
yeah, it's semi-temporary.
Yeah. Chris Gallagher's asking, has there ever been a laser that came with an exhaust fan that didn't need upgrading? Well, I'll show you this. My original, oops, getting into the wrong area. My original laser came with this fan, which if you didn't bolt that thing down, it would dance across the floor, but it moved a lot of air.
Good Lord.
I quickly got rid of that.
That's like a commercial HVAC fan or something, isn't it?
Oh, it moved a lot of air, but you know, it
was like a 10-gauge wire going to it.
But yeah, it needed a 6-inch port.
But the thing was quiet.
But it was not quiet, but it moved air. But yeah, now it wasn't integrated into the laser, which I think any of them that are generally are underpowered. But yeah, no, it's that and air assists. I feel like
they get like underpowered often.
Yeah.
It's rare that you get one.
Tony says when you get your copper, you need to make a penny.
I don't know if I want to waste my copper on a penny. But we'll see what I'm going to come up with.
DeWoos is asking, for primarily leatherette with adhesive patches, is the longer B1 20 watt or the Creality Falcon 240/24 a better choice?
I mean,
you're going to be able to do it with both. The higher power on the Falcon might, depending on, so there are a lot of different leatherettes out there, a lot of different, adhesive. You can get multi-layer, and the thicker you get, or if you get some of that thicker adhesive, sometimes having the higher power lets you punch through it a little bit easier. Either one's going to work fine. I mean, I did leatherette patches with the original X-Tool 10 watt. So
yeah, I mean, you could always go for the like Steve said, what you're going to get from the 40 watt would be maybe a little more cutting power, like one pass cutting power. Let's put it that way. Not that you can't cut it, but acrylics is one of those things that if you can do it in one pass, you kind of want to get a little bit smoother cut and everything, less risk of flame ups and staining it and all that. So yeah, the Creality Falcon 40 or 24 would be fine, or the 20 watt can do it.
John Woodworker mentions too, in a couple of weeks we'll have another laser manufacturer to talk about, Bamboo R1. I wonder if the R means RF. My guess would be not. So they've added modules to their 3D printers. I think their logical first step is an enclosed diode laser that's not integrated into one of their 3D printers. That's just my guess. I mean, the market they're looking at, I'm guessing they're going to be looking at trying to capture some of their current makers that aren't probably looking for a monster machine. And knowing Bamboo likes to put their stuff at a premium, I don't want to think about what their RF laser would cost. So, but that's just my guess.
I feel like they're going to take the module and everything that they created for that laser that they made that's in the printer that nobody really bought. I think they're going to take those internals, the diodes and everything, and they're going to redesign it. I don't feel like it's going to be shaped the same as a 3D printer. I think that would be a oops on their part if it was. I think it needs to be, maybe it's. I feel like it's going to be a little Laser Pecker 2, the LP2. I feel like if Bamboo was going to build one, it would resemble that machine as far as, because Bamboo's going to probably do some pretty good fit and finish with it. But I think it's like you said. I think it's just going to be a diode. I don't see them getting into. I mean, they may surprise me. They may come up with like a Galvo and they may take a like one of those H2Ds and throw a Galvo head in there. Who knows? But I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. I guess we'll find out soon, though.
Yeah.
Sean O'Horse has anyone tried any of the laser tree modules to replace low power diode gantry setups? Didn't you have you tried an aftermarket one?
I had a Comgrow back in the day, which looks a lot like the laser tree modules, but yeah, I've had a Comgrow. They as long as you have the appropriate like wiring diagram or adapter for whatever machine you're putting it on, it shouldn't be a problem. The two things that they're going to have correct is going to be the what is it, PWM, PMW, whatever, the wiring that plugs into it. You've got to have the signal wire has to be in the right place on the plug. So whether it's an adapter or whether you have to go in and wire it yourself, that has to be correct. And then, of course, your power supply has to adequately support the module. A lot of those modules will typically come with their own power supply, and then they'll have like a little board with like the e-stop and stuff that you have to like attach to your laser, and then everything else just goes in with the drag chain. That was the way the comm marker one that I had was. And from what I saw, Laser Trees reached out to me a couple of times. They wanted to send me a 60-watt module, and I was going to take it and put it on my X40 when my X40 was scaring me because I thought my module was going out. But they never reached out and sent it. So, but I think they seem to be okay quality for like an atom stack or something like that, I would think. I mean, have you seen anything too negative about them? I mean,
no. I mean, they've been around for a while. They've been making them for a while. I think they reached out once or so, and I didn't have anything really to put it on at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't had a real good reason or opportunity to test one of them.
Yeah.
Jerry Richmond's asking, do either of you guys have a recommendation for a good external air pump or air assist rather than a weak internal one? If you want to go with an air pump, there's Atom Stack has like a 60-liter a minute one, but Viver has a generic version of it. I think you can find it on Amazon, as a matter of fact. I'd have to look it up. But that one is pretty good. That I even tested that on the Reno 45, just bypassing the internal pump and manually operating it. But yeah, that's one. It has a variable knob on it, so you basically just need to swap your airline into it. Would be a good one to look at. Otherwise, going full on air compressor, but then you got to get your moisture traps and everything in there as well.
Yeah, it looks like $50 to $60 will get you one of these 2-piston aquarium pumps. Longer actually has their 30-liter on here for $50. Creality has one on here for $46. The longer one and the Creality one are probably going to be geared towards their machines, of course. But if you already have like the plumbing on your module itself, you really don't need a cone. You just need the pump. Some of the other ones will have like cone options and stuff like that. But yeah, air assist gets neglected sometimes with laser companies.
Yep.
I was trying to see if I can see that Vivor one, but
I know I found it in the past, but
I'm not seeing it.
Maybe it's just, how those things go.
Hang on, I'd be sort. Yeah, I'm not seeing that dual piston one. They've got the Vivor's got one, but it's a barrel design, kind of like that Atom Stack one.
I see it on Alibaba, but I don't.
Yeah.
Not sure I'd send you there. I guess that one's a 50-liter a minute airflow instead of 60. Maybe they're just being more honest about it. Oh, hold on. Maybe I got that is one long link. Can I clean that up? Oop. All right, I'll drop this one in there. It's out of stock. I don't know if it'll ever come back in stock, but that's the one I'm talking about. Looks identical to the I forget what model it is, and I think even Atom Stack may have discontinued it for they're pushing their F80 now. But
yeah, they got their F80s on here for $109, which is not a bad air assist, but it's twice the price. Quilter saying, I'm looking forward to seeing everything at the Makers Conference. Yeah, I hope this will be my very first time going to the next level event. So I'm hoping that it like meets my expectations, which I think is a good. I'm going mostly to socialize with folks, see a few of the vendors, and listen to some of the speakers. But I'm not really going to be heavy into the classroom stuff. I'm going to be more out on the vendor floor, talking to the companies and looking at the new gear and stuff like that. I'll probably, of course, go by and do maybe a little bit of video with the folks from X Tool, and I know True Flat's going to be there. I think they're going to be bringing some new products that they're selling and releasing it at the event to some of you guys. And I know Steve and I both have used a lot of True Flat stuff in our videos and so forth. So I'll probably be there to, see what they've got and maybe do a little quick video with them or something like that. But that's going to be the bulk of why I'm coming. And then, of course, to hang out with you guys. That's it for me. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself with a bunch of meetings and stuff. Oh, let's see. Diamond State Precision says, if we are at next level, will there be an invite only X Tool or other manufacturers meetings? That I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Not that I'm aware of. I don't remember when X Tool's doing their announcement. Are they doing that at that supper thing?
I think it's the Thursday night thing.
Okay.
I think it's before they're doing that announcement before the big shindig gathering, whatever hangout.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the mixer. I think they're calling it a mixer.
There you go. Mark's asking, how's my significant other doing with her 3D printer? Any cool prints? So I purchased a Centauri Carbon 2. I don't know. It was probably about 4 weeks ago, and a couple weeks ago we got it unboxed, and she's run through most of a roll. I bought some of that make filament from Michaels. She's gone through most of a roll of that and messing around with some stuff. Of course, I had to make like the poop chute for the back, and then I know she made some really tall box that was pretty big, and some other just weird, cool like print in place gadgets and things like this. So she's kind of trying to do a mixture of things. I think the only I don't know for sure. I haven't been monitoring all the usage on it, but I think there was a failure today. Just it might have been a dirty spot in the bed. I think my youngest was trying to print out a square of like fake chainmail. So that's like it's been rocking pretty well. I haven't seen it fail too many times, but again, we're just using basic PLA so far on it. Yeah, so I've been just purposely letting them play with it, and then I'll jump in and mess around with it a little bit. But yeah, no, it's working pretty well so far. And as far as like a inexpensive multicolor printer, I think it's so far I would put some pretty high marks there for it. So
cool. Rob's got a question for you. He says, if he buys the P2, will you throw in that monster fan?
I don't have that fan anymore. I actually put it on I think Craigslist back in the day. But I do have a there was a short period of time when X Tool had an inline fan, kind of like the ones you and I've used. It's not their IF2. It's kind
of like the Vivo or the Vivo.
Yeah, or the yeah. So I mean that could go with it. But no, that monster fan, I found someone who actually wanted to use it for something. So it's probably like for ventilating a pig barn or something. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Forget Me Not says the Ortour air pump is great. So
yeah.
Papa Woods says, Steve, thanks for the ice the other night. Hope you didn't mind the DM, but still no camera. It shows up on the right side of the screen, but it won't let me calibrate it. I mean, if it shows up, it should. I mean, unless it's just straight up failing. But the Lightburn camera calibration has changed a bit with version 2.1. So you want to be sure you're using the tags and I'm just trying to look at. I don't have one hooked up with a camera right now, so I can't test it out, but usually once it detects the stuff, yeah, it's not going to let me do it when it's not hooked up. I don't know. I'll try to take another look at mine and see if I can give you any tips on it. But
I've had to do a couple of them and I haven't had any problems. So I don't know if maybe it's that particular camera or don't know.
yeah, it's the it's like here, man.
Make sure if you have a virus protection or some type of like active like blocker on your computer, you may want to make sure you might turn it off temporarily and see if that changes. If it's not letting you calibrate it. I mean, because that's the only thing I could think of as far as the computer goes. Because like there's a lot of times when I get software, like my PC-Matic will tell me, "Hey, this is not on our white list. You can't use it." And so I have to tell it, "Hey, go ahead and run it," or either I have to turn the software off. So it may be that because I haven't had a problem with calibration. Because what was the matter of fact, it was the G3 the other day. I set it up.
He says it doesn't even work in the Atom Stack software.
But he can see the camera?
Yeah, that's weird if you can see that, but I'll have to get mine hooked up again and so I can actually access the camera and see what, because I know I got it worked out, and I'm trying to think
what machine was it again?
Yeah, Keyer Master.
Oh, I don't got that machine anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they moved the tools to doing it. So the tools are, and just so you make sure we're, you're not overlooking it. They used to be you had to go to laser tools and then go down in here to do it, to set your camera. But now it's over here. So you have these little buttons right here. Like that one is showing that there's a camera connected. This is a calibrated button and then aligned. Matter of fact, let me. Oh, I don't have a machine turned on. So I do have a camera turned on though. That's gonna be in EnclosureZilla. So yeah, so the buttons are over here. So if you haven't calibrated, maybe check that if you haven't already, and you can expand and close this as well. And it may be, Steve, that you might can if yours is calibrated. Oh, if yours is calibrated and his won't, you might could just send the calibration file from yours, and maybe that'd be a shortcut. Not that it would be exact, but it might be close enough to.
I'll have to get mine hooked back up and double check it. But we'll see. Jerry's asking, do I use the camera in my Ohm Tech or did I replace it? No, I've used the camera in there. It's pretty decent, although you get out to the edges and typical camera, it gets a little more off, but yeah, it works fine. But I'll be honest, on a lot of the CO2s, especially if it's got the red dot like this does, I'll do a frame, and the camera's to get it close, and then the frame to double check it. So
yeah, that's always a good policy, unless you got a really dead eye camera.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I didn't have one in my original laser. I knew you could add one, but I never did that. Even my D1, until I put it in an enclosure. Even my first enclosure wasn't set up for a camera. So it wasn't until a while later that I added a camera to a laser. So I kind of got used to not having one in my workflow. So it's not an end all be all for me.
Yeah. Papa saying only in Lightburn I can see it. Atom Stack burns the 5 boxes and gives a pic of the camera with a line through it. Now, I will tell you, Atom Stack will bogart the cameras. or Lightburn. So if you've powered up Lightburn before you powered up the AtomStack software, it may be that the camera is busy in Lightburn and it's not letting it show in AtomStack. So you may just need to restart your computer and then only open the AtomStack software and don't even open Lightburn, because the whatever the gadget that Lightburn uses to connect to cameras, if I power up Lightburn before I power up my like streaming software, a lot of my cameras won't be accessible because they'll be hung up in Lightburn. So you may want to try that. Just power your computer, restart your computer, and then before you even open Lightburn, open AtomStack and try to do the camera thing. Because AtomStack, or not AtomStack, but Lightburn will grab your cameras the minute you power it up, and it won't let go.
EMT Dave's asking, has anyone worked with the small crystal keychain blocks that X-Tool sells? They look like they might be profitable. I haven't looked at those.
I saw them, but I'm not getting the I'm not getting like the hits on the crystal stuff that I would like to have had. I've made more money with the UV lasers doing plastics and wood and stuff than I have the crystals and glass. Now glass, that's where it's at. Ooh, looks like Bravo Zulu's done got show enough involved there. Says I'm getting into making turkey pot calls. In the last 3 weeks, I've gotten the X-Tool S1, Bamboo P1S, and P2S. Now, that's what I call jumping in with both feet right there. You know, a buddy of mine just went and bought like the entire X-Tool like t-shirt setup. He's worked in printing for his entire life, like for 30-something years, and he decided he wants to make shirts. And so he's getting into doing some shirt stuff. I mean, when I bought my sawmill, I guess that was one of those jumps that I did, you know, where I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I see what they mean by those little K5 crystal keychains. I can see, you know, if you're able to get the photo engraving down pretty well and pretty quick on something that's small, you could probably ask a bit of a premium for that. People would go for that.
Yeah.
But like anything, it all depends on your market. You know, for some people, things go really well. Other places, people are like, why on earth would I want that? So, most things you just got to try.
Yeah. We're coming up on 2 hours there, sir.
Yes, we are getting pretty close to it.
So again, before we close out, in case you missed it earlier, Next Level Makers Conference is coming up this week. I will be there Thursday, bright and early, bushy-tailed, ready to go.
I will not.
Steve will not, but there may be some Steve. Hashtag Steve at Next Level Maker event. Like there may be some posts. There may be some stuff. We'll see. Just stay tuned. I have plans, guys. I have plans. Oh. Medic says, I'm struggling with glass engraving on the F2 Ultra UV. Very frustrating. I'm good with the inner crystal, but regular glass is very inconsistent. Clack, I watched your video, but inconsistent. Some glass, yeah, it's focus. Focus is everything with glass. And if it is not perfectly flat or perfectly rounded, it can be frustrating. If you have one, I strongly recommend, I don't know if you watched the video that I did about using the mapping function with the F2 Ultra UV. It's slow. Like the process is slow, but I got some really good results on some like just cheap whiskey glasses or whatever that were very inconsistent. I couldn't get good results no other way. It took a long time to do, but using the mapping where I put it in there and then you let the machine map it and then engrave it, I was able to get good results and I actually did a job with 12 of those whiskey glasses. So if you didn't watch that particular video, go check that one out. I don't remember what the title of it was, but that video, it kind of highlights what you're discussing as far as the inconsistencies with doing some glass, not all glass, but some glass. Okay, it's if you'll just type in F2 UV, it's the first one that pops up. It's a curved surface glass engraving with the X-Tool UV. And like I said, I was having the same identical problem to what you're having, and I had to figure out a way to overcome it. And that's what I ended up doing. Like I said, it's not going to be fast, but it'll do it. There you go. What about you, Steve? Have you run into that problem with? Steve likes to say, I don't got that machine. I don't know.
No, I X-Tool and I have not been communicating lately. So
Yeah. Let's see. All right. I think that's about it. Unless somebody's got some other comments or concerns. It looks like the questions are rolling through.
Greg, if I did, it would literally be probably the last minute of the conference.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
maybe we can get Cody to send his plane up there to get you.
Yeah, maybe. I hear Cody's got a private jet that he likes taking all over the states.
It's named the Genie, isn't it?
Except for he would do that. He's like, oh yeah, it'll be there, and then I would find myself in Atlanta.
What's up, Cody? How are you, sir?
Yeah.
Radu's asking for a good source for heart-shaped crystal or even glass surface 4-inch or so. I have no idea.
Yeah, they got to be out there, but I don't.
JDS and JPP. JDS is probably a better bet for glass. JDS wholesale. They have some weird shaped stuff, but I don't get into a whole lot of the. Like I typically stick with square or round or something less unique. Billy says, "Wave when you come through Monroe." Yeah, I'm going. The way that I'm planning on going is I'm going to go up from here. I'm going to be running back roads mostly over to Selma, Alabama, and when I get to Selma, I'm going to cut across and go all the way over to. It's basically I'm going to. The way that I've got it figured out, I think I'm going to be going through Meridian, Mississippi, and then over. So let me see here. What was it I said? But yeah, I think I am going to be going through Monroe. Yeah, I got to hit 20.
Actually has a 3. They have a couple different larger sizes of heart crystals. They have a just under 4-inch and a 5-inch. So I'll drop a link for those out there.
Really?
Yeah, huh. They're like $27 a piece.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing with that stuff. It's that specialty glass like that and stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like I'm going through.
Ones.
Yeah, if you look at the route, I'll try to go up here, entire screen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's almost straight across, like literally straight across from where I'm at. So I'm going to go by way of Selma here and then through Demopolis, through Meridian, and then just straight shot down 20. I'm hoping all goes well and there's not a whole lot of traffic or anything. So if you're along that route, I'll be coming through there here the next few days because I have no desire to go up and hit 20 up there. I'd just rather cut across. I'm familiar with this route. I used to do a lot of training over in Meridian, Mississippi at the Naval Air Station. So I'm pretty familiar with that route. And it's back roads, but I'm going to be doing it early in the morning. Shouldn't be no big deal. Because I've got, it's going to be, we figured it with fuel stops and pit stops and stuff along the way, it's going to be 12 hours of hard driving. If you incorporate a lunch break and everything. And stopping and taking off and all that. So we'll see. But that's it. That's all I've got. Like I said, y'all, if you're going to be there, hopefully it'll one of the nights of the event. It won't be Thursday. So it'll be Friday or Saturday we can get together. Maybe Friday. That way we can go ahead and do it. And hopefully it'll be like I've seen some people saying there's several restaurants right there near the event. Hopefully we can just find a place and be like, hey, after the event's over with at this time, come here and hang out, you know. But I will be in the vendor area. So if you guys got vendor tickets, that's going to be pretty much where I'm at. So if you come in, whether you're there Thursday, Friday, or Saturday in the vendor area, just look for the guy in the orange shirt because I will probably be in the vendor area the entire thing, except for when they're doing like X-Tools doing their thing and some of the presentations and stuff. I'm going to be attending those, but as far as like the closed door classroom stuff, I'm probably not going to be in many of them. What you got to say, Steve?
Well, I'm just glad I don't have to drive 900 miles one way.
Was it 900 for you?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Geesh.
Mm-hmm. Geesh. Hey, when you're coming down from Canada.
That is true. It was a long way from here to your house. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, you talking about kids being like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? This is for like 2 days. Actually, no, my kid's not that young. But yeah, I would never make that trip with little kids. No. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Stay tuned. There will be hopefully at least a little project coming up with the Omni 01 before I go to Texas. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Chris said that's 900 miles and nothing but a burger run. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it was 1,100 or 1,200 miles from my house to yours. So it's basically like you're driving to my house for you to get to Texas. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's almost like on the same like latitude, longitude wise. It's about it's about even with where I'm at.
It's about an hour and a half longer to get to your house. I think that's about it. So
yeah.
She's long.
Whew. Yeah, I can't say that I blame you. I'll be honest with you. That's a long ride. 12 hours is going to be, like I said, 12 hours. It's going to be a good full 12-hour day for me driving. But hopefully it'll be smooth and everything will go well and we'll get there in time and all that. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. Sunday night, Steve may be doing the majority of the stuff with the live. If y'all see me, it may be from like a clamp mount where my phone is up here and I'm driving, or either I'm sitting at a truck stop parking lot or something for a bit. But I'm going to try to make it. But if I don't, I'll be on the road and I'll at least pop in because I cannot miss a live. Because so far, since we did our first live show several years ago, we have consistently been here every Sunday. And so I'm going to at least be here for a period.
And I'll be here
with me. I guess I could have my mom over in the passenger seat with the laptop and she could just like key it up.
I'll Well, I'll be here even if you're remote and driving, and yeah, I'll hopefully have some fun stuff to share between some projects and maybe some more stuff about the new products coming out being announced this week and such. So,
Yeah.
one way or another, we'll have a good time next Sunday. Hopefully, you have good travel and everybody else going there as well. Everything's safe, and yeah, we'll be jumping into. Well, let's see. Is that still August? I was gonna say it's gonna be August 30th. Fall is here.
I was fixing to say that's going to be the last live of August. The next one we'll do will be in September.
So it'll be September, and so
yeah,
it'll be fall time. It's definitely fall craft fair season, holiday season, rapidly.
I'm ready for some fall weather. Is what I'm ready for. It was 96 or 97 here today.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this. It's like summer has run its course. I'm ready to move on.
Well, I'm ready for the semester to get going so I can actually take some time off again because I need it. They're going to yell at me pretty soon because my vacation balance is going to get too high. And then, but yeah, I've got some outdoor things I want to get done. Like I say, I've been working on a little project with the bike. Want to do some more camping. Actually, in October, that I'll be online. It may be via satellite, but there is a weekend into a week that Carl and I are going to take another trip up north. So,
yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing what everybody how the event goes for everyone. Going to miss you all. Sorry I can't make it, but we'll find another one some other time, and
he'll be there in spirit.
A little concerned about how I'm going to be there, but yeah.
Oh, you gonna make it. Don't worry, you'll be there. I got a project I'm working on, but you're gonna be there, sir. All right.
Don't worry, turnabout's fair play.
Hey, you've been giving for a while. It's time you receive. So, we'll see you guys. Y'all be good.
See you, everyone.
Diamond State said, and cartoon images. See ya.